lesson number 9 of our basic striking offense. So we're going to work on round kicks now today. So round kicks are one of the most basic kicks that we're ever going to throw in our striking, and one of the most powerful kicks we can throw as well. So well worth having in the arsenal. There's lots of different targets we can hit with a round kick, 5 of them to be precise. We can do a low kick or a cup kick, which is below the knee. We can do a low kick to the leg, a body kick, a kick into the guard, into the arms, or potentially a kick to the head. They're the 5 targets that you're going to hit with a round kick. So we'll look at the basic technique here. Whenever I throw a round kick, the trick is that I need to let my hips rotate. So one of the very first things we teach is to learn how to take that preemptive step, turning the toes out to open the hips. If my toe is turning in and I want to throw my right leg, it's almost impossible for me to do well. So I'm going to make sure in my stance I will turn my foot out, open that hip, and from there I can start to pivot all the way around to create that round kick motion. When I do a round kick, I'm trying to hit with my shin, okay, and at worst, the very top of my instep. I don't want to hit with the low part of my instep, my toes, because it's not a strong area of my body. If I kick an elbow, or even if I kick someone's body, I'm as likely to hurt my foot as I am to hurt them. So I'm going to try and hit with the lower part of the shin every time. I want to make sure when I make impact that my knee is actually further through than my shin bone. If I'm doing that, it implies that I'm rotating and committing my hip. If it's not happening, usually that's a sign that my hip has stayed back, which can be done. That's okay in certain situations. But the basic technique, we always want to get into the habit of rotating. So when you first learn this, try and do full pirouettes, full 360s when you're learning this technique. You don't even need to throw the kick. You can just rotate like this, just to get into the habit of that nice full spin. And you can put this on the end of combinations. Once you start to throw the kick itself, we need to counterbalance ourselves to make sure we maintain our composure. So when I kick with my right leg, my right arm, like when we did our front kicks, my right arm is going to do a seatbelt motion. So it goes in the opposite direction. So when my right leg kicks, my right arm is going to swing backwards. It's not going to stop me from rotating, but it will control the rotation so I can land back in stance. So it will all look like this when it's put together. I pivot, I can look to kick, I throw my right arm across, and then I reset back into position again. Same again, I pivot, I kick, reset back into the position. Pivot, kick, reset back into the position. So that is the basics of a round kick. Obviously the opposite side, no problem. I shift, kick, back into the same position. The last thing to remember is guard position. So when I start my kick, I should be doing it from a proper guard. I don't want to have to change my hand position too much before I kick. It gives the game away. So I do it from my proper guard, and I always make sure that the hand that isn't doing the seatbelt is always covering on the eyebrow. So when I go to kick with my right leg, my left hand is here on the eyebrow, making sure I'm covering myself against my opponent's kicks. Because just because I'm kicking, it doesn't mean that they can't, okay? So work that into your shadow boxing rounds. Again, you can do at the end of basic combinations. 1 right kick, 2 left kick, 3 right kick. And then if you want to get fancy, you can double up on sides. You can go 4 with the right kick on the end of it. Lots of different variations, all right? Go for it, enjoy.